Hi, hello everyone. This is Shivagami from SNS College of Technology. As I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Information Technology, here we're going to learn about the topic is the timeline in software project management system. Let's see the topic. Timeline. The timeline in software project management system. First one is we have to planning and scheduling for the successful delivery. The first one is we going to planning and scheduling for the successful delivery. It means suppose we going to do one project. We have a plan to do one project means we should schedule the time. Okay, how much time we have to spend, we want to spend for that project. Okay, before starting our project we should schedule the project timeline. Okay, and the next one is ensure the task, resources and the deadline are managed. Okay, and then what are all the tasks, and then resources we going to use for the project, and then deadline for that project. We should before start our project, we should decide for that. Okay, first the introduction is timeline. What does mean by timeline? Visual representation of the project schedule. Okay, it is the visual representation of the project schedule. Project schedule means how much time we going to spend for that project. Okay, this is the project schedule. If suppose we doing one project means it have many tasks or modules. Okay, we should allocate the time for the each task or each modules. Okay, each modules, and then only we going to complete our project within our timeline. Okay, the next one is the shows start duration and end of the activities. Okay, the timeline is used to show us our project starting, how much it taken, so the duration of the project and the end of the activities. Okay, the next one is it helps to track the milestones and deadlines. Okay, and then it helps to track the deadline of our project. Then the next one is essential for monitoring this progress. Importance of timeline. Why we going to schedule our time for our project? Why? This is the importance of timelines. Okay, it provides the clear visibility of the project states. Okay, it provides us to give a clear visibility of our project stage, and then it helps the time estimation and the resource allocation. It helps to which time we want to how much time we going to spend for this task or this task. Okay, and then how much resources we want to give for this task. Okay, so it's used to help us to allocate the time or as resource for that modules. Okay, and then it supports the coordinators among the teams. Okay, it supports the coordination among the teams. It helps to give a good coordination among our project team members. Okay, it enables the risk identification. Yes, it is used to find out the risk. Okay, what are all the risk we going to face our projects. Okay, so it is used to identify that kind of risk. Okay, and then it improves the accountability and reporting, and it improves our accountability and reporting. The next one is timeline components. The first one is the task and activities, milestones, dependencies, durations, deadlines. Okay, the task and activities means breakdown of the project work. Okay, so we going to divide our projects into some small activities or a task. Okay, And then milestones, key deliverable and checking points. Okay, milestones means it's a checking points. If suppose we are going to complete one task or activity, we should that is one of the checkpoints. Okay, we are going to check that activity. Okay, and then the dependencies. The dependencies means a sequence of activities. Dependencies means first we go because we divide our project into some small parts, some activities or a task, so we should give a sequence for that task. Okay, the first we going to execute this task, and the next one this. Okay, this sequence. Okay, it is called as the dependencies. And then the duration means time assigned for the each task. How much time we going to assign for that each task is the duration of the is called the duration. Okay, and then deadlines. So finally complete the date. Completion date is called as the deadlines. Timeline tools and techniques. Here I give us some tools and techniques for our the timeline. Okay, the first one is Gantt chart. It shows it is showing task schedules. Okay, it is showing bars using bars. It is showing the task schedules. And then PERT chart. Critical path method, and then MS project, JIRA, Trello, Asana. These are all the software support to our timeline. The next one is step to create a timeline. The next one is steps to create a timeline. The first one is define the project objectives and scope. Okay, before we going to start our project, we should define what is our project scope and then objectives. What are all the objectives of this project. Okay, and then identify the task and the deliverable, and then identify the task and the deliverable, and then we going to identify what are all the tasks we going to do our project, and then when we going to deliverable, how it will deliverable. These are all things we have to identify. Okay, and then the next is estimate time and the resource, and the next one is we going to estimate our time and the resources. The next one is sequence activities. The next one is sequence activities. Allocate the resource and assign the responsibility, monitoring and update regularly. The monitoring is most important thing in our project. Okay, not only project, each and everything we suppose we going to do anything, we should monitoring that task or modules, whatever may be. Okay, without monitoring, nothing will come perfect. Okay, so monitoring is the most important thing. Okay, and then update regularly to our stakeholders. Challenging in managing timelines. The challenges in managing timelines. Okay, the unrealistic deadlines, scope creep, resource unavailability, poor risk management, lack of monitoring. These are all the managing challenges in our managing timelines. The conclusion of this topic is timelines are backbone of the project planning. Yes, I think yes. Is it correct? Yes, correct. Because the timeline is the most important thing in our project. So the timeline or the backbone of our project planning. And then ensure the projects are deliverable on time. Okay, the project suppose we going to create one project means we should deliver that project within a timeline. Okay, then only